Run it, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time. Think it's my year. Yeah.
All right, welcome back to another edition of Who's Your Boy Trades. Had a nice upside day in the market. Started off really smooth, definitely along the open kind of day. If you didn't catch it off the open, we did get a little bit of pullback. Good chance to get in entries again for the second part of the day. About midday, we had a nice little pullback, offered a nice entry for longs. But obviously, after hours, we got hit with that Microsoft and Google earnings that kind of pulled this market back. So we hit the majority of my targets that I've been talking about before the big tech earnings disappointments and scaled in some shorts over 38.65. Let's look at the chart here. My final short-term target was 38.90 to add more shorts, and we barely missed it. We topped out at 38.74. We still have some critical big tech earnings on deck, so we'll need to watch them carefully. I will be going over the names to watch later in this video. We're currently trading another key level at 38.35 in the after-hours session. Bears want to see us get back under 38.20 to regain control, back under the weekly balance high. So I'll be having my eyes on that when we open up in the morning. I'm not going to pay much attention to the overnight action, obviously. Get some rest here. Bulls want to hold it over 38.35, though, in my opinion, for continuation, which, you know, after the earnings disappointments, we saw Apple and some of the other tech earnings that are reporting later this week that I will be going over. We saw them kind of sell off, too, in the after-hours session, so we'll see how they open in the morning. So that holding over 38.35, I really don't see that playing out. I don't expect that until later in November after the midterms, where we can start another rally, potentially. So in other words, I'll be watching for better entries as an option swing trader that uses futures as my guide for entries. We want to keep an eye on additional targets to the downside now. 38.20 first that I just talked about. I got 37.97, 37.75, and 37.40 in the very near term. We'll then review the structure to get back in longs for the end of year rally, unless we start to head lower, which, I mean, my ultimate downside target at this point is looking for that 3,600 level again. There's a couple other targets in between there, but I can't imagine it dropping back below 3,600. So if we go back down there, I'll definitely be looking to try and long that again, unless we get some really bad news that can really, tank the market hard. So like I said, we'll review the structure then to get back into longs for the end of year rally, unless the other earnings do pick the market back up, such as Apple and Amazon. And obviously, that would be before the FOMC, which is on November 1 and 2. So FOMC could play a role in this action as well. Obviously, I've been talking about the gap levels at 41.05 and 42.21 on the weekly that I want to target over a much longer time frame. But we're going to look for some better entries to start heading towards that. I only got a couple runners left on longs. I closed most of those today. We're up very nicely from entries at 35.20, so definitely some nice plays. And then we need some additional action before they come back into play, though, like I said. So, I mean, after some bad earnings like that, we definitely want to see where this market heads and see, if the Bears can get us back under that 38.20 level, which is, the previous weekly balance high. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I'll get into some of the earnings we have coming up, talk a little bit about those now. All right. So looking at tomorrow, looks like we got Meta. We got ADP, we got Boeing. Let's see. I mean, some of these are important, but they're not as weighted on the index, like General Dynamics and Waste Management. There's some, decent quality holds, as just far as stocks, but not really good options plays. We got, let's see what else. I know there was some more that we had. Kraft Heinz is a big Warren Buffett holding. Not really an options trading type of stock, though. See. Yeah, so tomorrow those are kind of the big ones. Thursday is the next really big day, though, for big tech. Because, of course, we have Apple, which I'm kind of leaning bearish on. We had that news from China the other day, and that's going to really hurt them. That's going to affect them, potentially forcing them to move factories to another location over in that territory. So they might have to move out of China altogether and look for, possibly moving to Japan or something like that, somewhere else in East Asia. We got Amazon, which, the China news shouldn't affect them quite as much. So we got MasterCard, McDonald's. That'll be a decent one to pay attention to. And we got Intel. That'll definitely give us some direction on the semiconductors, which have been improved. They've been performing really well. That's another. We've been playing some NVIDIA on this rally back up to 131, 132 area. Out of all those, though, that 130 was a nice target in the short term, along with SOXL, the 3 times bull on semiconductors. Got some nice trades off on that. We got Altria, MO, Gilead. So yeah, Thursday's big. Northrop Grumman, a defensive stock. After LMT did really well on earnings, but then RTX they fell pretty hard on earnings after performing really well the last couple weeks. So I'll definitely check out Northrop Grumman to see what it does. Not something I'm going to play for earnings, obviously, as a lotto, but definitely going to have my eyes on the stock. And I think that's about all the really big ones for Thursday as well, but they are huge ones. I mean, Apple's a huge weight on the index, on the S&P and the NASDAQ, as well as Amazon. So we got First Solar too, which has performed really well this year. So that earnings will be interesting. See how that one pans out. What else we got here? CCJ, that's another stock I've talked about in previous videos. They had the offering, but they rallied back over 24.50. Actually took some trims off on that after averaging in. I will be looking to continue with my longs into that, though, for the long term. I did close the options on that. Actually, I still have 2 for March of next year, so I'll see what happens with those. I might be selling those tomorrow, depending on what the market does and how it looks. But CCJ, it held up pretty well, even through the sell-off today, so I'll definitely have eyes on that. But I like that as a pure play on uranium. There's a couple other good uranium tickers I've talked about in previous videos too. If you're interested, you can go back through my past videos and review those. And let's see. Yeah, so also Nike is one that actually performed really well today too after the news of Kanye with Adidas, all that. Nike actually went the opposite direction on that, started heading up. So I'll definitely have eyes on that. See if it starts to pull back with the market, but I think it's still at a great price, under $100 on Nike. I feel like that's a steal. If we pull back, I'll continue averaging into that position as far as equity is concerned, but I will be looking for some option plays on that very soon again. And yeah, that's it for Thursday. Friday, we got ExxonMobil though. We got some big energy plays. Chevron, CVX, some healthcare, AbbVie. So yeah, the rest of this week will be pretty interesting for earnings. And that's really going to determine the direction of the market, especially Thursday. Once we get, like I said, Apple and Amazon are huge. Big weights on the index. We really want to watch those to kind of give us some direction in the coming days. All right, and this chart is one that I forgot to mention that reports on Wednesday as well. Yeah, they report tomorrow, the 26th, or today, if you're watching this video on Wednesday. But this has performed extremely well. You can see it's broke out to all-time highs. Love this play. I'm looking for pullbacks into these previous highs to possibly try some longs. We'll see what earnings does, but this could definitely offer some upside. And just healthcare has just been tearing it up. They've been the safest stocks to be in. Eli Lilly, similar, breaking the all-time highs. So if you're into these type of plays where they're breaking all-time highs, I think these are pretty safe plays. Definitely want to be buying pullbacks on these in the shorter term. I mean, I don't see the sentiment shifting in these anytime soon. They're relatively safe. They're doing great things as companies. So, I mean, Eli Lilly just keeps climbing every day. Hit like 346 yesterday, and then it climbed over 350 today. Like I said, when they start breaking out the all-time highs, there's no more resistance left. So if we get some pullback into the previous highs, then I'll be looking to get in. Otherwise, I mean, you could continue playing the breakout on these as well. It's not really my style normally, but a lot of traders do like this style, and they definitely work. I mean, when they're this healthy and money's continuing to flow into them, they're worth taking a look at. But yeah, Lilly and Merck have just been incredible. These are like the best looking charts of the year right now. Here's Merck once again, over 97 now. It's a real nice chart. Now, XOM too. I've been trading that quite a bit. It's into new highs over 105. I think it's not all time highs on this one. I don't believe though. Oh yeah, sure is. Sure is. I know there's a couple of the energy names that are close to all-time highs, but not quite. I thought XOM was one of them, but yeah, over that 105 was definitely new highs. So yeah, we can see further breakout on this as well. Sentiment's been great on these names. Let's take a look at CVX since they're reporting on Friday as well. Yeah, beautiful charts. I think everyone knows Oxy this year. I think that's been one of the favorite energy names with Buffett. Yeah, this is one of the ones that hasn't broke the all-time highs, though. You can see back here in 2011, it was trading over 112. So I think there's still room on the upside here. I've got the fib chart on here, and we're pushing towards the top of that, looking for a breakout again. So levels we can watch on this are clearly the 74.30, and then we can break out over 80 and 85. So yeah, I think Oxy definitely has some room left. I want to be buying the dips on that one. Let's see where XLE's at. I've been trading XLE a lot this year, and it looks pretty good. Holding over that 85 level. And I think we could definitely see 95 to 100 on that again this year as well. Sentiment's definitely in energy still, even with crude pulling back recently. These names have remained really strong. See crude oil here. Yeah, so we're still in that 84 area. This is the monthly chart. Let's look at the daily on it. Yeah, you can see on the daily it's been in quite the downtrend. Tried to push back up here, failed over 92. But I definitely think we could run it back up there if we can get over these moving averages. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as well. I'm actually in some longer term calls on XLE. I don't really trade futures too much anymore just because I enjoy options trading a lot more. That's just my style though. So yeah, definitely some things to look at the rest of the week. Gave you some levels to watch. I mean, that's all I got for right now. Remember to smash that like button, subscribe to my videos. I'm getting a lot more content out. As always, I appreciate and love y'all. Be sure to check out our Discord. It's called Bullprint. I always have a link to the Discord in the description of my videos. Be sure to follow that. You get a free week trial. Come check it out, test it out. Great community, great analysts, great plays every day. I'm gonna start sharing some of these, some of the daily recaps in my YouTube videos real soon here too. I mean, we've been just killing it. We've had some 100%ers, 278 percenters, 1300 percenters. I mean, bangers. And most of our trades are over 20% before we're starting to trim. So, I mean, you can come and check us out for a week. You can see our daily recaps. See that we're just killing this market. And you can, make your own decision from there. But like I said, don't forget, smash that like button, subscribe to my videos, and I love y'all. Appreciate you watching. Thank you.